The best of the Morning X with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. 99X.
Yeah, all right. Deputy Sheriff Justin Carr is here from the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, right?
That's it.
All right.
I have a quick question for you. You know, I've always believed, I've gotten pulled over a few times, but I'm one of those guys who believes, man, you just say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Yeah, just shut up.
You be a gentleman or a lady, and you don't give a lot of lip, and you're cooperative, and you'll probably get a warning.
Or at least be better off.
Or at least you have a better chance of getting a warning, as opposed to being contentious.
A lot of it is your attitude. You know, have your stuff ready. If it's at night, turn the lights on in the car. Have your hands on the steering wheel. Have your driver's license, your insurance ready. Don't be underneath the seat looking for it. Hang on a second. I'll be right with you as you're crawling in the back. See, we're not going for that because the fact is, you know what's just going on. Anybody with any kind of reasonable thought should have their driver's license in their pocket anyway.
Man,
not underneath
people
the seat.
act stupid though,
and that's why people are like, well, "Why are cops so aggressive?" Because you'll deal with 20 great people during the day that just hand you your driver's license, insurance, say, "Hey, I'm late for work, gotta go to the doctor," and then you'll get the one guy who he's been locked up 5 or 6 times. He knows he's going back because he's out on probation or parole. He's got a warrant, and he knows he doesn't have a license, but he's digging underneath the seat because. What's on his seat? Maybe he's got a bag of weed or maybe he's got a gun, and then we start getting a little nervous because if I can't see your hands, what are you coming out under the seat with? I don't know.
Yeah, who in their right mind would start digging under the seat?
You wouldn't believe how many
it.
people. Let's get some listeners in because we got a bunch of people in line waiting to talk to you. Samantha.
Yeah.
Ask a cop. Deputy Justin Carr is here.
My question is, why is it that cops get away with more than citizens do?
What do you mean they get away with?
Like, on the highway, they'll be going 90, like, without their lights on.
Well, they might be on a call.
I mean,
aren't there different situations where you would have your lights on or not? Samantha,
Yeah.
Samantha, it depends on the situation. Like, I could be on my way to back somebody up, and it's not what we call not a priority one, and I'm trying to get there in a hurry without running lights and sirens.
But the perception is you're just speeding.
Yeah, but that could be the perception.
You can see them, like, run red lights, too.
Without their lights and sirens on?
Uh-huh.
Usually, you're supposed to use your light and sirens if you're definitely buzzing a red light. So
just don't assume, Samantha, that they're out doing wrong. They may be on the way to something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Ask a cop.
If I pass a speed trap and I flash my headlights to warn people coming, is that illegal?
Good question.
I can't give you an exact answer on that. I've never written anybody a ticket for that. That's just one of those things like, you've just jammed up. You've just saved everybody else, but you might have jammed yourself up if you got past the speed trap. There's nothing.
Is there a law?
No, I can't imagine there could be a law. I've never heard of one.
For
I
some
see
reason
it
I
all the
heard
time. I see it on Wyuka all the time because man, that's one of the biggest
I used
traps.
to do that when I was a kid. Before I was a cop, I mean, I was setting off every light in the car trying to let somebody know.
Street like that, 25 mile an hour, speed limit on Wyuka. That's ridiculous. That's
crazy.
a main thoroughfare.
That is
and
There's
crazy.
a lot of roads like that where,
and it's downhill.
yeah.
Coming from Phipps down to Roswell Road.
If you just tuned in, we're talking to Deputy Justice Carr. Ask a cop on
Justin.
99.
Justin.
He upholds justice.
It's a new show. Justin Carr, and it's Ask a Cop.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, one of my friends keeps telling me this, and I doubt that it's true, but I've heard that if you are pulled over and you get a traffic ticket and from a state trooper or something like that, if you're not in full uniform, an example, like if they're not wearing their hat, that you can get out of the ticket.
That's right.
Huh?
They're not wearing their hat?
Well, I mean, let me tell you.
Like if you're not in full uniform.
Well, I mean, he's missing his pants, or what's he missing?
Yeah, what would he be missing?
I mean, let me tell you what. Troopers, they are required by their own policy and procedures to have their hats on all the time. Now, me personally,
Even in the car?
Yeah. Well, I've seen them drive. Some of them drive around with it in the car, but
That's a little much, isn't it?
Yeah.
But in some states like Ohio, they're like driving around with it on all the time.
I mean, you get in the car, your head.
It's part of the whole persona. Me personally, tactfully, if I'm trying to be tactful, I'm not going to wear a hat because you get on the interstate and those cars going by, it blows off. See a hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not going
got
after
a souvenir.
And I'm not going to try to.
But someone couldn't get out of a ticket just for that.
No, somebody was lying to
you.
you on that one.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, for the call. Let's go to Chris. Hey, Chris, you're on the air with Deputy Sheriff Justin Carr.
Okay, I got a real question that's going to help every parent out there. I'm driving down the HOV lane right now. My 7-month-old son is in the back.
Okay.
Does that count as a carpool, as another person?
Yes.
Should.
It does.
It's another body in the car.
It's another human being.
As long as you don't have a dog, you can't pull the dog off is one.
That's awesome. So even though he can't drive and he's not going to help the carpool situation here.
Doesn't matter. You got more than it says 2 occupants or more in the vehicle. I have an 8-month-old little daughter, Isabella, even though she doesn't know I'm talking to her right now. She's considered a person. So, just because they can't drive doesn't mean that's not. I mean, you could have a whole car of 6 kids in the car. You're definitely cutting down on the highway traffic.
Probably get pulled over, though, I guess, huh? Because you can't see the baby, especially
and then
in those low seats.
As soon as that police officer looks in the back and sees 6 kids, he's going to run back into his car.
Yeah, thanks. So, bye-bye. Have a good day.
Crash.
All right. Thank you.
I get this one all the time. If it is a holiday or a school day off or just one of those days where school is not in session, but the school lights are flashing like 25 in this zone, even though you know there's no school, do you still obey that 25?
I do, and I would say to, because sometimes even on school days that are off, they have after-school activities or out-of-school activities when it could be sports or something, and buses are still pulling out of there.
So no matter what, even if it's a holiday.
Unless it's a Sunday or something. A holiday, I think you're pretty safe, but like on those teacher in service days when there's supposed to be no kids, as long as those lights are flashing, I would stick to them.
Okay, you just answered about 100 emails I get.
Yeah. What are most of your calls as a sheriff? Because you're kind of a floater.
Well, Deputy Sheriff, specifically the Fulton County Sheriff's Department, and we do warrants. We run the jail, we run courts. So it's basically a transition. We are not as they call like a full service sheriff's department, like maybe Cherokee County.
You don't get called to like domestic.
The only time we ever answer calls, or I'll answer a call, is maybe during shift change for Atlanta. That they'll be, it's like that 3 o'clock, 3:15, and they're trying to put 20 guys on the road, and they've got calls to swamp, maybe armed robberies or something like that.
Is that the best time to rob at 3 o'clock?
No, because we're out there too. I mean, there's always crossover.
I always wondered that because on a shift change, is that the best time to go and commit a crime?
Every department's different. Like some departments work 12-hour shifts, some work 8, some work 10. So there's always a crossover. Don't think just because it's 3:15 that there's nobody out there.
Rich,
right?
Yeah, I gotta think. After years of dealing with, I guess drunks and people on drugs and whatnot, what's the best excuse that you've ever heard for someone trying to get out of a ticket?
My wife's at home waiting for me, and I haven't been home in 2 weeks. So I've been working too much.
Oh, so he's rushing home.
He's rushing home to take care of business. I said, well, if it's been 2 weeks, another 5 minutes won't kill you, buddy. Yeah.
How many times? Go ahead, Leslie.
Have you ever had a female, though, like sort of not exactly proposition you, but say she'd do anything to get out of a ticket?
Or lay it out.
They've had them. I've had them wear
skirts up?
Button those button-up dresses.
Yeah.
Completely open with nothing on.
You mean we're talking when you get to the car?
We're talking like cheetah-type girls like that.
That's why Lady Crash never had a ticket.
All right.
That's right.
That's
She's got a
right.
great
You mean when you
driving record.
get to the car, they're already unbuckled?
They're unbuckled, unzipped, the whole works. Good morning. How are you, officer?
Okay, does it work?
Does it work? No. This is the first person you scratch.
You should act like you don't even see it.
Exactly. I do. I mean,
how you doing?
I just
nice ass.
Well, if you're definitely seeing the ass, it's definitely the day is definitely turned. The day has definitely turned well for you. Let me tell you what. My license is in the back seat. Let me get it for you.
Let me get my purse. It's
exactly.
In the
How many times in your career have you ever had to shoot your gun?
There's more to the story. This bit resumes after a brief intermission. More Best of the Morning X is coming up next on 99X.